What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are ready to go. Big earnings tonight. We got NVDA after the bell. I think that's what the market is going to be waiting for. But we got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Andy. Good morning to Bill, Brad, Cindy, Frank. Good morning to Joe, Keith, Lauren, Lucian, Michael, Mike. We got Ray in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Tim, Virginia, William, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to Pete Demo. We got Daniel in the house. All my lurkers in the background. I'm just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But whew, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was, for the most part, up until about 2:55, 3 o'clock, we were just tightly trading, small range, couple bear traps, couple bull traps. We did make higher lows and then beautiful double bottom and just kind of catapulted from there. So tough day on the day trading. You like it to see a little bit more momentum. See if that would come in today. They're not going to give us a good opening price to do so, not yet at least. Lots of we had a decent amount of companies report earnings for the most part. The ones that I was watching and kind of following, they've all been beats, raising for raising forecast, raising guidance. The big ones tonight, the big one's NVIDIA. If NVIDIA could, and I think the earnings probably are good on Nvidia. It's just we're up there, so we'll check it out. We'll see if Nvidia's got some more room and what it has to do. But otherwise, SPY for now opening into a little bit of resistance. So we'll see. We got 27 minutes before the bell rings. If we can get above 645.33, that would give us a sign that we probably maybe just break out uh, ahead of Nvidia earnings, and then you got about 646 would be my next at least psychological resistance, but nothing else really up there. The other thing too is if we do not open above that level for SPY, we got a couple levels of support, just a lot of consolidation built in. Leads me to believe we probably have a chop day just waiting for Nvidia, but 645.01 and then decent support after that one would be 644.60, a monster level of support. 644.20 if we get all the way back to yesterday's VPOC, which I don't really want to see. Only because I think to the way down, if I was to short this market or the SPY specifically, which is going to represent a lot of other probably companies moving similar to the SPY, but if I was to short the SPY, it's going to be a challenge. I don't think it's a quick drop. I don't think it's to make a bearish case here would be crazy, in my opinion. We're definitely looking at a potential double top. I think you need the next catalyst, which the first one was the PPI, and then we just negated that whole thing with Jerome Powell. I think the short side of things is going to be difficult. I think it's going to have a lot of short traps. Uh, I think the path to least resistance, with all of the support kind of built in, that's going to be probably northbound if we could get above that first level. Otherwise, I think the downside is going to be a little trappy if we get all the way. And that being said, just I'm talking day trade basis. If it takes a lot of time between traps, slow meltdown, for us to finally get to 643.04 by the at any point during the day, now it doesn't really give you much opportunity to play it bullish and it's kind of just hanging out. So I think that the downside would be a little trickier, I think, for today. I think the bullish side is the easier way, but we got to get past the 645. So what I would like to see, small pullback. Honestly, I would like to just see us pull back to 644.95, but I'll be okay if we hold on to the 644.60 zone, although now you got to get through at least one more resistance and then that final resistance in the market. Other than that, everything is bullish. I didn't see anything again to negate any news. I didn't see any red flags in so far any of the earnings, and most of those earnings, a lot of them were retail. We got the Qs, um, really looking good. The next resistance on the Qs is 573.99, so not too far away, but we were there. We've already hit that one August 22nd, so that Friday. The next resistance after that one, maybe we push into that 575.05, and then you got 576.49. Again, I think ahead of NVIDIA earnings, I'd have to lean bullish in the market. I think usually at least the play is buy a stock prior to earnings, and then the last hour maybe kind of sell and lock some gains before the report comes out. If NVIDIA is able to move most of the market, which would be the Qs and the SPY, I think that's more bullish leaning across the board. And then the real catalyst is what NVIDIA actually does after the bell. So we'll see if we're just kind of into a little chop today, but I think chop to the bull side makes the most sense. Bitcoin so far holding that 109,079 that we've been talking about for a while. We did get a interesting close. We have our first next resistance to the way up if we're going to actually bounce. And it might take some time, but if we bounce, we got 111,593. Want to get some closes above. Yesterday we did achieve that, so kudos to the bulls. Now we're just pulling back. This should be where we got down to the lows of the day. We didn't quite get there, but almost. But now I'm looking for this retest 110,251. Again, we got very close. Bulls started buying it up. Now we do want to see us get back above this 111,593, 561, something like that. 561, I think, is a better number. And then if we close inside day, then this is your candle for Bitcoin. If we start breaking out of that candle, you've already taken out, you've already retested, you've already taken out two VPOCs and look to probably break higher from there after a really, really good retest. Wave count wise on Bitcoin, I'm not sure we want to start this thing. We still technically made new higher highs. Now we're making lower lows. Maybe this is your one, two. That'd be a very weak three. So I don't know. I think I wave count. Maybe alluding to a little bit lower, but at least we hit that first bounce spot so far, and a possible spot for reversal on Bitcoin. We will see. Other than that, I think the first one that came out that I saw on earnings was Okta. I was holding some shares. And, if you win, you lose. If you lose, you lose. Uh, I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But we got Okta. So I was playing this one ahead of earnings. So I did buy a couple shares right before the bell. I did buy a couple shares the day before on this pullback, 92.50. And then yesterday I was able to get them at like 91.50, something like that. So those are up. I did sell some already right after the bell. So half the position I'm out. I'm looking to sell the other half at open. But this is a decent gap and go from yesterday. This one was mostly retest. So again, I'm not sure how many shorts were really piling into this one, but they did sell it a little further than I was thinking they might. And then you have a decent resistance at somewhere around $96. Otherwise, earnings were really good. Earnings that came in 7% higher, 7.5% higher on earnings per share than expected. You got $16 million surprise beat to the higher side. They did raise guidance, raise forecast. So not bad. I like Okta long term. It's the valuation is still a little bit uh crazy, but not bad comparative to some of the others in the industry. But I think you are kind of running into, even though this is a gap and go from yesterday, you can have a slew of moving averages. I'm looking to get out. It was more of an earnings play. Longer term, though, if this one pulls back and you get pricing somewhere around this 92.76, I think it's probably worth a try to pick up a couple of shares. They did have upgrades a couple days ago, so to 125. So there's some room in there. You got some bullish catalyst starting to roll in. If we can get past probably roughly about 96.09, I think your next target on this one, 97.20, but you're going to be tangled up. So I don't know how much more room there is to the upside for Okta unless something crazy happens, but that's why I'm just going to take my gains on this one. And if it pulls back, maybe reset a new position. The other one that I was hovering over the buy button, and this is why I'm like, man, if I win, yeah, I made some money on Okta, but I was about to hit the buy button on this one. I looked at the chart just way too late, and I didn't want to be like, this is a just a FOMO panic buy before earnings. But I wish I fell victim to that one. This is probably your best mover of the day so far, at least off of earnings. There's one more actually that we'll get to next, but from last night's earnings, let's put it that way. But I was close on that one. Everything fits into the chart. I just don't know too much about Mongo database. I know a lot more about Okta than Mongo database, and I didn't want to hit the button. But as a good $70 gain, $65 gain, something like that. Again, this one too. Watch this one for longer term. If we could get past 291, we'll call it 292. But 291, 69, something like that. There's a lot of nothing holding us back until about 333.69. And then you do have 364.38. But already a big move for today. Let's see if there's any resistance that we're opening into. Resistance wise, you got a little bit approaching right above us, 282.55. I think this one's already moved past the expected move as well. So calls, they're going to be very, very profitable tomorrow. Well, I mean today, but maybe get some selling pressure from there. Otherwise, I think I'd probably like to almost look to fade this one, but that's not a strong conviction fade. So let's do this thing. I think if you get a pullback into what I would really like to see is a pullback into 256.30. Again, that's a lot of room to the downside, but there is going to be some support you got to break through to get there. Or 262.89 is the first spot I would look to go long if you did want to try to jump into this one. But that's a nice little, and this is a good uptrend too. Short term little pullback, but I think we are squeezing some bears on this one. Already a big move, kind of priced in. Put it higher on my watch list. We'll take a look, and if we get an interesting setup, I really don't want to go short on it. But if you get a pullback, I think it's one to watch for tomorrow, Friday, Monday. The Monday market's closed, I think. So maybe look at it Tuesday, and if it pulls back enough, might be good. But also beat and raise on guidance as well. This morning we put in Coles. Coles, again. Death, destruction, two Coles, going out of business at $6.38. You've had a couple misses, not even all of them have been misses, but yeah, the narrative around Coles is horrible. They did get rid of the divvies, I believe. They're still paying dividends? I thought they cut the divvy. Or maybe they just cut it, they didn't eliminate it. I thought they got rid of it completely. Nonetheless, so you do actually get a small divvy, looks like, if TradingView is correct. But yeah, really good gap on this one. Nothing really holding this one back. I think in a short squeeze sense, calls would be your play. So I think if you get a high wave candle, something like that, um, really your volume is somewhere around $14. If you get a pullback to that, that's going to give you much better risk reward. Other than that, there's really nothing stopping you up to $18. I think this would be a fun one to watch. I think this one probably could be a little volatile as well. Remember, we did open not too long ago at $20 just based off of nothing except for a short squeeze. So I think that's got some room in it. They did come in surprise earnings, surprise beat. I think the Bulls have something a little more concrete. If I was a bear, I'd be a little terrified. It still has a really good short flow to it. So Cole's going pretty high on the list as well. We got a couple of the tickers. Let's take a look at Palantir, PLTR. Usually, Bill, you want to see Palantir and Coin. Just Palantir today. You feeling okay today, Bill? I have to do a wellness check. It's usually Palantir and Coin. We're eliminating Coin for today. Okay. We got Palantir, plenty of room to run. This is a retest gap. Would love to see a tiny little pullback. Um, on a day trade basis, I like it. If I could get a pullback in this 160.66. Bill, he's coming around. All right, wants to take a look at coin too. Uh, yeah, if we could get a pullback, I wouldn't mind it. Otherwise, there's a lot of room. The only thing that I see really potentially holding us back is a 20 EMA. That's going to take us up to 164.74. If we get the price we want, we can get in somewhere around 161. That's still $3 before we have to face that battle. Other than that, the next level psychologically is 171.37. And I think the actual true target to this one takes us to about 171.71 and then 173.07. So lots of room. It's hanging in there. You're above a lot of support. Would love to see that pull back first, but yeah, I think Palantir for a day trade. Where my hesitancy comes in is if NVIDIA takes a nosedive, I'm not sure they will. That's going to affect probably Palantir and a whole bunch of AMDs and a bunch of other names as well. So a lot of names I think are going to move on NVIDIA's earnings. Palantir will not be a stranger to it, but for day trade, I think it looks good. We got a couple hours till we get some news on NVIDIA. Let's take a look at Coinbase. Coinbase. I can see why you left it off the list. A little inside candle for now, nothing too crazy. Um, you got your first resistance 308.39, and then it'll pull back, retrace if you could buy it off of 304.38. That's where I would look for today. Otherwise, if you get some impressive candles and we start closing on a 309.39, um, you have a lot of room. 321.01. There's going to be a couple levels from some past days that might give us a little issue, but otherwise, nothing really stopping you to 320. So see if we break out. If not, best thing to do, see if you get that pullback, and then you're trying to buy that one as low as possible. Okay, I see Cracker Barrel. Let me look at the other ones that came in first. We got MU. MU is chilling for today. We have this pretty decent sized gap down. We built in a hammer. We've also built in a bull trap. We're just consolidating at this point. Bulls tried it yesterday. They failed. However, what I would say is he got past that first 118.04. That's a major resistance on it. The next one is about 118.90. We're still below yesterday's VPOC so far. We'll see where this thing opens. If this thing opens above 117, I think you might get a little nice pop on it. If it opens below, look for some kind of support, not too far away. 116.86. So far looks like it's hanging out. It is inside day. I don't expect full on retracement of the opening candle. If it does, I think it comes a little lower and you're looking for like 116.30. That wouldn't be the strongest signal. I'd almost want to see a high wave candle on MU. I would be okay with some indecision on that one. I'm undecided on it. So maybe if the market on a 3 minute time frame is also undecided, we could jump in when the rest of the market figures it out. But yeah, I kind of like a bullish from here. I'd put a lean bullish. MU probably gets affected by NVIDIA earnings as well. So holding something like that overnight, just be cautious. We got HIMS off that 200. All right, buying off that blue line seems to work again. So that would have got you in somewhere close to about 41.25. We're already up $4. Retrace gap for today, approaching resistance. So I got resistance around 46.24. There is another level right before that one, 45.90. Looks okay, I think, if you want to take a stab at it. Not too bad. Again, retail favorite. Watch Palantir. If Palantir starts to move, Hims might be pushing as well. Would also like to see this one, just like I like to see Palantir pull back a little bit. Get me into that 45.38. Get me that lower wick of a high wave candle as close as possible to 45.38. I could take a breakout. The next target on this one, if you could clear 46.19 in a small time frame, you got about 46.84. And then I think your next one is about 47.89 with actual true targets to like 48.14. But you have little resistance before that one, so maybe a little shy of that actual target, and we run into this 47.89 for today. But it has one or two big hurdles we got to clear through first. So get me that one a little bit lower, and I'm down with Hims off that 200. They have the ability to do some wild candles that we do not expect out of nowhere. But we've been trending up. So far, so good. I think we continue bullish from here, and it's a matter of how far we go. RKLB, Rocket Lab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row. Opening in an okay spot. You have a little bit more room to the northbound side. That's going to take us to $50.54. We've been there already. The next target after that, well, you got a couple psychological levels, 51.44, and then I think a bigger target would be about 52.47. Trend still looks good. We obviously faced a little bit. We were up there yesterday already. Bears did come in. I'm not sure why, but they did come in, or some profit takers came in at $50.89. So for today, that would be my first resistance. I'm not gonna give that a 5-star resistance, but that would be a little bit of resistance. And as long as we can open up above, well, we're there now, but as long as we're up above 48.81, I do think this one looks like it wants continuation on this one. Probably would have to be a little bit quick on this one as well. Small pullback, maybe like tad, like little into that, hold that, and then I think taking the break. If anything past or anything below 48.81, maybe you've got some of those profit takers stepping right back in, and you got 48.34. But reversal candle on the day, it just not until that candle breaks, or more specifically until 48.24 breaks, then that gives a little more legitimacy to that inverted candle. Boeing. Boeing, nice looking gap up. Also retest gap. I think we're going to be facing this retest situation a lot today. Be cautious at open. SPY's already kind of pulling back a little bit. But we got Boeing. That is, I don't want to see a full on retest of that one. Yesterday's VPOC 234.31. I do think we get a little bit of a pullback, but I would like to see very, very strong support somewhere around 235.56. That would have been my target if I was bullish. And market makers already saying that we could go higher than that. So give me that pullback into what should have been support. Don't come in, don't fill this entire thing. Otherwise, I gotta worry about re-breaking what should have been a really good resistance. And the market makers worked so hard overnight to get this thing above. So not bad. See if we get a pullback 235.45. I think that could be a decent trade. I think you got 239.61 is your next target. And then if you get above it, 242.83 will get you up to that next one. So let's put this one higher on the list as well. Get good old Boeing back on track. All right, Cracker Barrel making a well, we had Trump make a statement yesterday on Truth saying Cracker Barrel, if they're smart, not like Jerome Powell. I added that part. But if they're smart, they would bring back the what's his name? Uncle Herschel and the barrel on the logo. They've already gotten billions of dollars in free advertising, and then I think he said just to manage the stores better, and you should be in good shape. Otherwise, after that truth came out, Cracker Barrel made a statement saying we are going to put the Uncle Herschel back on the logo. So we're right back to the same logo again, and we are basically back to the same price before the whole craziness started in the first place. So if you were a buy the dipper, that story came and went and left, and you did have an opportunity to make some money. You're kind of just tangled up here. I think there's now the whole situation did bring some light to. So again, just talking right side politics, left side politics. But it highlighted some other stuff that Cracker Barrel does. We'll see how quickly the entire situation fades, if at all, and if they could return some of the customer base. But Trump isn't wrong. They got billions of dollars of free advertising. So big retest gap. You have a little bit of resistance here. You are starting to take out. Obviously, this yesterday's close was phenomenal. Getting past that high volume candle. Really good sign. Essentially, that news just brought us into the 200. Crazy how the news just kind of works with the chart sometimes. But it found a little bit of support, and maybe you get some pullback. Again, if we could hold $6.25, I think that's good. Your next target, probably about 62.43. If you can start breaking 62.43, yeah, you get start getting a lot more room on Cracker Barrel. But yeah, removing and changing logos gives you buying the dip opportunities on this one. Robbie Starbuck still outing them for yeah. So you got some issues with people. Um, Again, not a political show. Maybe I start one though. 5 p.m.s. Yeah, maybe we start doing a political show at 5 p.m. I don't know. We'll see. But not a political show, so I don't want to get into it. But we got some people, they have some DEIs, they got some donations to some causes that some people may or may not like, and we'll see what the final stance is. But before the logo issue, I don't think anybody knew where their money was going or really kind of cared. But now we care. Now we care again. So we did highlight some of these stuff, and we'll see how much further Cracker Barrel gets the heat. But they are back to the same logo. How are they on NASDAQ? What tech on Cracker Barrel am I missing out? It's just the manufacturing of how they make the barrels, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea how they're on NASDAQ. I don't know. Maybe they got a good point of sale system that they use. I don't know. Not sure. That's it. That's a very solid question. We got SERV. They snuck on the NASDAQ somehow. Here's a company that actually does tech. Good gap up on this one. Again, we've seen some trap candles. This is where, and I'm still in it. I had some recommended stops, some buy entries. I'm still waiting for that 1603 target. All of this to me still looks really good. I mean, if you can get a bounce here, you're looking at inverted, almost inverted head and shoulders on a very long time basis. This entire pullback looks like it's just even wave count wise, maybe I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you get one more pullback. But really good hammer, good volume on that one. Again, just eyeballing where I would have probably had to stop. Probably somewhere around here. I'm still holding its position share play for me. Other than that, really good open, and we just got a nice little bounce past that 1077, so that gives us a little bit more room. I think targets for today maybe takes us up into like $11.38 if we get there. Probably met with some resistance, and then bigger resistance for me would be can we take out 1158 and 1173? But we'll see. Again, I think NVIDIA's earnings is going to affect everything tech-wise, and to me, this looks like a big ol' uh, everyone loves a good cup and handle. That was like the first pattern I ever learned while I was sitting at a Cracker Barrel one time. I was like, you know what? This coffee cup does look exactly like this pattern. And then you kind of get that break. So I think we're still ramping up. I think it's an extended pullback on that handle means an extended move. And I think that still comes, but we'll see. See how it plays out. Otherwise, really good gap for today. Looks pretty solid. And yeah, we are breaking through a pivot after what looked like it was trying to collapse. So serve, I think, definitely on the list. I don't know about for a day trade on it though for today, unless we got a significant pullback because it is up a lot for right now. Atlas Sign Industries makes the signs for Cracker Barrel, but they are a private company. But what happened with the old signs? Did they throw them away, or do you have to just remake new ones? Because yeah, those guys just got double the order for making signs. We just worked so hard on making these signs without the barrel or the guy, and now you're going back and flipping on us. This is their best. That's that company's best year of sign making business ever. I think I'm pretty positive. They were so happy when they locked in a Cracker Barrel account, and now they got pretty much a double Cracker Barrel account. Chewy, actually, I think it looks very sneaky here. So good hammer. That was a great retest spot. Oh, the bell is ringing. If we could sneak back above 4091, I think Cracker Barrel could be good. First target though, 4133. We've been there a few times. If we want to have an extended day, that probably takes us to 4196 or a really good day, 4267. We'll see. I'm hoping we get a lot of high wave candles here at open. We'll see what happens. Other than that, that is your morning bell. So everybody, YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Otherwise, yeah, be safe. Catch you tomorrow. We got NVIDIA earnings tonight. Later, guys.